Namaste, Adab, hello.
And welcome to this final talk we are having about Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. Now we reached the 8th limb now.
Yeah.
It's the final stage. This is a human evolutionary system of consciousness. And now we have reached the final stage, samadhi. In the Buddhist tradition it's called nirvana. In the Sufi tradition it's called rohaniyat or fakiri. So, Naima, what would you like to say about samadhi as the final stage in the sutras?
Yeah, that is because the Ashtanga, Patanjali's Ashtanga yoga, meaning Patanjali's 8-limbed yoga. And the 8th limb is samadhi. And the samadhi is the last into the oneness. And the samadhi, this you cannot decide. Till now, you could try to meet, because till now you can try to have good moral conduct through yamas and then niyamas, do's and don'ts, and then you can try to do asana, the best your yoga position, through practice. And you can try your best to do pranayama. Daily you do your breath work, you fill your lungs with life force, energy and oxygen and control of the breath work. And then you do the effort to do sense withdrawal, which we talked about, pratyahara. That means you try to control somewhat your addictions. We all have them, but we keep the moderation like we talked. And then you are into concentration, dharana, which we talked about. This also is effort on your side as a student, as a yogi or jogan. So still now effort is on your side. And then meditation, when the meditation start happening, then still effort is in your side, because you are more and more present. And morally you have been tested. But the funny thing, guys, I have to tell you this, is that the 8 limbs, this is not up to us. It's only through grace. And we can never be sure if we are going to get the grace, because we cannot decide whether we are graceful. This is up to God. Whichever way you believe in God, if it's Khuda or Shiva or Jesus or intelligence or light, whatever it is for you personally, which connects you, that inner connection, finally that has to come to you. And that is only part on your effort in the 8 limbs is faith and devotion. And then you will see, and here I would like to use an analogy that I learned through studying the Bhagavad Gita. You remember?
Yes.
Through our teachers training. We have had many teachers training in Norway, where we go through also the philosophical part of yoga, because that is actually more vast, more interesting, because hatha yoga or physical yoga is only skin deep. You know, it's only skin deep. So you penetrate somewhat through the physical body, but then you go further in and you have to figure out the consciousness, which is very interesting. But the thing is, guys, you have to have devotion, you have to have faith, and then you will see the grace. And here is the analogy that I learned, and that is out of all the billion people living on earth at this time, or any time, any yug, you could say, you have maybe few 100,000 out of them that will try to reach inward, because you have to make that decision that, oh, do I want to go inward? Because the tattvas, meaning your sense perception, we have 25 tattvas, they are looking outward. See? So they are looking outward. So out of the 6 billion, you have the 100,000 that will go beyond the tattvas and go inward. And that will be 100,000, few 100,000. And according to Bhagavad Gita, one translation, I don't remember which one yet, out of the few 100,000, 10,000 actually makes the journey, the real journey, and make the effort to go inward. Because it's a journey and it's a decision and it's very tough. So out of that, few thousand go inward, and then they say out of the thousands that go inward, maybe a handful reach the final goal where you get grace. You get grace, and through grace you reach samadhi. This is not up to us. And then that takes you further. But that will be whether you have passed Patanjali's previous tests, physically, mentally, morally, and then finally spiritually. And that is finally samadhi. So we can only hope and see if that faith turns into belief, because that's what happens.
So it's the ultimate karmic seed sprouting in a way.
Yes, ultimate karmic seed sprouting, and then seeing if you are deserving through your action in this life, and if you believe in a reincarnation, also your action and deeds from previous life. So it's very interesting, but it's a science, it's a complete science, and the real gift is at the end, and the tests are many.
So this is the one result orientation that you are supposed to have while practicing yoga.
Yeah, because it has to be through devotion. As long as it's through devotion, it is going to be a link through the heart, and that is through Vishnu Granthi and Anata Chakra. So that is the Ananda you get through the heart. So you reach the Ananda Kosha and you are in bliss, because eventually you realize after all this, and the tattvas plays a little trick on you, because it makes you think that you are a separate entity, because you have your 25 tattvas, your 25 sense withdrawals and senses and all of this. And the elements, when you mix it together, it becomes a perception. But when you go beyond that, you realize that we are from the same source. And what binds us is the Vishnu Granthi, because that is what connects human to each other through compassion. You feel a general organic love for humanity. It's just natural. It's not a forced, or that love is not, oh, I need to get this thing back. If I give this, I will get this. There is no accounting, you know?
And I can genuinely wish somebody well if I have compassion for the suffering any person is going through.
Yeah.
Otherwise you can't really wish somebody well if you don't have that compassion.
And you know, it's not about wishing. It's like you feel you are sane.
Yeah.
So you understand.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah.
It's like you identify that you and me are the same. So you are suffering today, I will suffer tomorrow, and it will be like that because we are the same. And you realize that we are from the same source, guys. We are all from the same higher source, and eventually your karma will sprout, and eventually you will feel connectedness towards a higher source, and that will peace the soul, because you will realize that actually there is some bigger things in this universe that is bigger than us. We cannot control it. We cannot try to be above it. We are a part of it, and we can just try to make that the best. So that is, for me, I feel samadhi. Samadhi is the final faith that turns into belief through experience. And everything with Patanjali and the sutras, the Ashtanga sutras and the siddhas, the tradition with siddhas, how I perceived it, is that they do everything through experience. You have to experience it yourself. And also, Shri Krishna ji, he says that you have to go through it karmically yourself and exist, coexist in society, be connected, and who can stay as a spiritual athlete amidst of chaos is the true spiritual hero.
Thank you.
Yes?
And with those final words, thank you for watching our series on the Patanjali Yoga Sutras.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Hva syns du?
Jeg vet ikke. Jeg tror du må klippe bort noe.
Prayam